And there we go. We are recording. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Cut. I am one of your hosts, part one of two. I'm Anthony Oquendo. This is Tom Roth. What's up, Tom?
Guys? What's going on, Anth?
All right, so it's been a while, and we have a lot of stuff to go over. And yeah, I mean, let's first of all, we're going to talk about a couple different things. We're going to talk about some Keri Lake and Jeff DeWitt and some bribery going on in the world of politics. I mean, is that a surprise though? Like, let's
Not
be honest.
really. That's kind of like if you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you ain't bribing, you ain't winning.
So we're going to talk a little bit about some Keri Lake and Jeff DeWitt, some bribes going on. Maybe we're going to touch on the border down in Texas and the Supreme Court ruling and what Texas plans to do about that. Maybe we'll touch on some gender affirming care here in Ohio. Oh man, there's so much. Emergencies Act being ruled unconstitutional in Canada.
Elizabeth Jean Carroll getting grabbed by the pussy.
Jean Carroll getting diddled by Trump's fingers. The New Hampshire election was just last night.
Yes, it was.
Well, if you're watching this right now, it was 2 nights ago, but whatever. Yeah. Fannie Willis, Nathan Wade, some more diddling going on there. Yeah. Fannie Willis is getting her fanny packed.
Yeah.
By her specially appointed prosecutor or prosecuting attorney. And yeah, so I guess let's get right into it, Tom. So we'll start off with Keri Lake and Jeff DeWitt.
Yeah. So like Jeff DeWitt, who's Arizona's GOP, he was forced to resign after there was some leaked audio which revealed that he tried bribing Keri Lake into not running for the Senate. So DeWitt gets upset because he says that this audio is kind of taken out of context, and if you had the actual audio, it'd be much more damning because Keri Lake not only did I not know that she was recording me, but also she edited it, But here's the thing: you can't be upset that you're being recorded when you're in a one-party consent state. So most states are a one-party consent state for being recorded, and Arizona falls under that jurisdiction of being a one-party state. So what do you really have to be mad about? You know what I mean? You're just mad that you got caught for doing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I mean, and I think that's the way to go about it anyways. I think it should be a one-party consent state. If you are a participating party in a conversation, you want to record it, do it.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you shouldn't be bribing people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or attempting to bribe people.
Well, like, bribery has gone on in politics. I mean, even since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. You know what I mean? Like, people were being bribed. People throughout history, there's bribes. I mean, you literally go back to the time of Jesus Christ. Like, they bribed Pontius Pilate to crucify Jesus and let Barabbas go. It's one of the first examples really of bribery. If you're a Christian, you know what I mean? It's probably or they bribed Judas to betray Jesus. You know what I mean? The shit happens. And I don't understand why people are upset that he bribed her because, like I said, I mean, it happens all the time, but the dude's just upset because he got caught.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Let's take a listen to some of this stuff.
I would love to.
Let's do it here. Let's
over there.
Yep, we're gonna switch over. And let's just listen.
He looks like a fat Troy Aikman. You know who Troy Aikman is?
Yeah. I could see that. Here, let me do this because I think we should be okay. Yeah. All right, let's take a listen to see.
Let's do it.
How some of this sounds.
Is there a number at which
I can be bought? That's what it's about.
You can take a pause for a couple years.
No.
And then go right back to it.
Mm-mm. No. 10 million, 20 million, 30, no. A billion, no. This is not about money. This is about our country. I think it's disturbing that they would that anybody would think this is.
No, to be fair, even me, I'll say this. I want fresh states right now. For the reason that I've never seen anyone, I can't think of a single person in a federal race who lost, ran in and won. I can't think of it. If you can think of it, let me know.
I'm not going to let these people who hate our country tell me not to run. You should call them and tell them to get behind me. So what's going on? I'm assuming this is our friend.
This is back east. There are very powerful people who want to keep you out.
Oh no, they do.
But they're willing to put their money where their mouth is in a big way. So, this conversation we never had.
This is crazy though. They should want me. I'm a great candidate. People love me. These people are corrupt.
Well, maybe you're right.
They are right. They are corrupt.
This is rap. Don't go. Do it. I'll get myself in trouble. This, if you say no, which is fine, it's your choice. Don't tell people.
They're gonna try to have me murdered.
Not either. Things world, man. If that stuff that came out last week is right about the cartel stuff, man. They said the cartel's operating in 50 states right now. You know? So
what's going on? Who is it? What?
forget the who. Let me just tell you the what. I just say
Sounds
that
like
people
she's
call
eating Doritos while she's talking to this dude.
Real quick, I have to say something.
Say what you got to say, baby.
So I feel like a lot of this is very exactly how you would see it in the movies.
Yeah, like I literally when you said I feel like this is, and I was gonna say like an HBO like procedural.
Let's
you know
not
what I mean?
forget about the who. Let's talk about the what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, and all this may be 100% on the up and up, exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
Although I can't help but kind of be skeptical that this is maybe a scripted conversation to maybe make people back east look bad.
I mean, I could see it.
You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
I mean, just the way that he was kind of delivering like his quote lines. You know what I mean?
He
Like,
sounds like
I
he's
don't know,
fucking.
man.
He sounds like he's doped up on some blow. He's like, look. No, forget about the who.
yeah,
Let's talk about the what.
yeah.
And you don't have to. It's your choice. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
But really, like the implication is that she didn't have a choice. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's the
like
implication.
it sounds like he just got a fucking like a key of coke, fucking railed one in the bathroom real quick,
yeah.
and came out and was like, look, I gotta do this. But I can't help but it just sounds kind of scripted.
Well, it's funny you say that he had a key of coke because he's talking about the cartels operating. in
Yeah,
50
they're in all
states.
50 states. They're
It's
right
just
here
like,
in
yeah,
Arizona. We
wow.
know they're in Arizona. But anyways, let's continue. Let's listen a little bit more because
Onward.
yes.
Say, no, they can't repeat this. Never repeat this. If you say no, don't. If you say, I got it.
Yeah.
Because then we lose our ability to get things done in the future.
Here's my problem. Rather than just say, let's work with her, she's a great candidate. Because they don't own me. And it pisses me off.
Yeah, it's not about ownership.
It's about control.
I don't know it's about control. It's about being on the team. Like I said, you know what I mean?
They want to be on the team.
They want you to be on their team.
But,
Just team. You know?
but if they're pushing a globalist agenda, I can't do that. So what do they want? What do they want me to do?
You want to stay on the teams. But I'll tell you what I can offer you. But I said you can do whatever you want. So the ask of me was it's kind of so the ask I got today from back east was is there any companies out there or something that could just put her on the payroll and give her to keep her out? And I said, well, what do you want to do? Whatever we need to do.
This is about defeating Trump. And I think that's a bad, bad thing for our country. DeSantis is not America first. This is about the final death blow to Trump. And I don't think that's good for our country.
And,
I disagree.
It's
You
not good for
disagree
our
about what?
country, Jeff.
This is the death blow for Trump. I think that there's quite a few other things that are the death blow for Trump right now, and I don't think that that's one of them.
I mean, we can get into that later,
We
but
will.
I think
No, I
they're, I
just
think
wanted
they're,
to-
I definitely think they're really trying to. I mean, since 2015, basically, they've been trying to knock Trump down.
No, they have. Yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? Teflon.
But every president tries to get knocked down, or everyone tries to knock a president down, man.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a pretty concerted effort to
There is.
to knock Trump down. But
Scott Stewart,
as
our
of right
old
now,
boss-
he is the Teflon Don.
it's funny you say Teflon. Our old boss Scott Stewart at Verizon used to say, "You got to be Teflon. Just let it bounce right off, let it slide right off." You know what I mean?
Mm.
And there's no man that's better at that than Donald J. Trump.
Teflon Don.
Teflon Don, baby, Ricky Ross.
Let's keep going.
Praise God.
It's not. But at the same time,
What are they eating?
I'm not even sure Trump.
She's eating peanuts.
I think what it really comes down to is about control or it's just about the ability to raise money. If you really want all of politics boils down. And even on there, what makes that?
I know all these consultants don't want their payday, and I don't want to make a deal with these kind of people. This is a hill worth dying on. I'm not. If they're going to steal the election to make me and our movement go away, I'm not letting them do that. I owe it to the people of Arizona
Or
to carry their torch and their voice.
you don't go away. But you pause.
This is the battles right now, Jeff.
And you go your coffers.
No, the battle is right now. The battle is right now, and we don't have time to pause on this battlefield.
You're not. What you can't scratch this. It's not great.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to offer. And they're sitting around people that have stuff to offer. You know what I mean? It's just it's a back scratching club. That's all DC is. It's a big back scratching. You're in no position to scratch anybody's back, and you've already made it known that if you get there, you're not going to scratch anybody's back. I don't scratch people's back. I've been on the outs for a lot of people for a long time, but I don't scratch.
He just said, I don't scratch people's back. Yet here he is trying to fucking stroke somebody to fucking get them to get their opponent out of the public eye. Come on now, bro. You don't scratch their back. You stroke their cock. That's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Motherfucker.
This is a whole convoluted thing, man, and I think that we could go on for a long time about bribery and corruption in politics. But at the end of the day, his pedestal that he's putting himself on of being the good guy and being like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna get you on a payroll and you're just gonna pause. You know what I mean? Like that type of bullshit, that type of grandstanding right there is what is ultimately the downfall of people.
Now
You know what I'm saying?
here's my question though. What does he gain from even having this conversation with her?
So
He's got to at least be getting some money out of this.
not only money, but I mean, how does politics work? They said it in the video. I mean, it's a boys' club. I mean, literally, if he does this for the boys, he becomes one of the boys. You know what I mean? So his influence could maybe reach further. So maybe he gets his back scratched at some point. Someone does a favor for him. It's not just monetary with these people. You know what I mean? And anyone who says that it is, it's not. It's the money's fantastic, but at the same time, having that clout, having that political, like having those people being able to back you politically, you know what I mean? Like, oh well, this dude did us this solid, so we're gonna really back him on this. You know what I mean? Like it's not just it's calling in a favor and really getting that favor reciprocated in kind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, but he's got to be getting something out of it, like something pretty hefty. He's got to at least be getting some of that money that they want to pay to her. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
but who do you think headed it? Like, who do you think was who do you think was the masthead? They said back east, so was it Mitch McConnell?
could be Cocaine
mean,
Mitch.
Yeah. Old boy's old boy's been not all there the past couple months, so I can imagine he
Could
come
be
up with some
Mitch.
bullshit.
How about Adam Schiff? How about Nancy Pelosi?
Pelosi.
How
Pelosi did Benghazi.
actually, because you know who I've been seeing pretty vocal on Twitter or X lately is Hillary Clinton.
I was just gonna say Killary, dude. I was just gonna say Killary. She's been on Twitter like crazy, or X like crazy lately.
She has been.
Just doing. She made a new hashtag today. Hillary Barbie.
Oh, I saw something about that, but
Yeah,
I didn't.
like supporting like Ryan Gosling and all this bullshit because Ryan Gosling came out and said like Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig, who was the star and director respectively of Barbie, should be proud of what they did, and there is no Ken without Barbie, yada yada, which was a great thing for Ryan Gosling to say. But then Hillary Clinton just slides right in. Has to involve herself in shit,
Yeah.
But that's her modus operandi, you know what I mean? Like she has to involve herself in shit. And
Well, there's also speculation that
Epstein didn't kill himself.
no, I don't think that's. I mean, that's.
Hillary did it.
But there's speculation that she's basically going to come in and undercut Joe Biden and steal the nomination from him, and become
Bro.
the primary candidate for the Democratic Party.
Dude, I'd laugh my ass off. I'd laugh my ass off
Wait.
if that lady thinks she has even a sliver of a chance. Hey, Kanye West had a better chance to run this fucking country, and
you
I voted
imagine?
for him.
Could you imagine another fucking 2016 Hillary? And listen, I. But you know what's fucking crazy, bro?
What?
Just as people say the Republican Party is crazy about Trump and like
The Democrats are wilder about Hillary, bro.
yeah, like
They are.
it's almost they're parallels.
Bro, go to my parents' house and say Hillary Clinton. My mom will
I
bake
might not
you a
leave,
cake.
huh?
Like she's gonna make you stay there, man. You're her new son at that point. She loves Hillary. I don't know why. Like I told her she did Benghazi, and my mom said no, she fucking didn't. I was like,
Yeah,
she fucking did, mom. Like,
Yes, she did.
I mean, the bitch was all but there.
Gaddafi.
She was literally all but there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But so that begs the question. I mean, like we're talking a little bit more about some corruption, bribery, that kind of thing. Let's talk about let's go move onward. Because we want to
Where
talk about
do you want to
things.
move next?
Why don't we there's a young lady by the name of Fannie Willis, and she's getting her shit packed by Nathan Wade. So
okay,
let's
I see where we're going. Fanny's getting her fanny packed.
yeah, she's getting that fucked.
All right. So yeah,
Let's
we
see
can.
what's up.
So yeah. So
So the one thing about this, anytime we talk politics, I am much newer to the world of politics in terms of being invested. And you do an amazing job when we talk off air. You are a big part of my education in politics, and you really break it down for me so I can understand. So I feel that we need to give that service to our viewers here
So
who
quick.
might not know. So why don't you unpack the shit that's getting packed into Fannie Lewis?
okay.
Why
Fannie
don't you
Willis.
be her enema?
Fannie Willis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lu-
All right. So
Whatever she is, she's taking the ass.
Fannie Willis, known the biggest Fannie in Georgia,
Okay.
because she is the district attorney in
Okay.
Fulton County.
Okay.
She is she's the one prosecuting Trump
Okay.
for the election interference.
Yes.
All that, right?
Yes.
So she appointed 3 prosecutors for this trial.
Okay.
You have Nathan Wade, you have two other people, a woman of color and a white male. And long story short, she appointed these 3 prosecutors, Nathan Wade being one of them, a black man from Fulton County or from Georgia. And Nathan Wade is, from what I know, he was a divorce attorney prior to jumping on this case,
Okay.
prosecuting Trump. Well, he himself was actually going through a divorce. And so he was appointed to this case, and then the very next day, he filed for divorce from his wife. Now on this relationship between the biggest Fannie in Georgia, Fannie Willis, and Nathan Wade, she paid him very handsomely for this. He's been paid over $600,000 to prosecute this case, and while the other two prosecuting attorneys have received less than $100,000. It's somewhere around between like 60 and 90,000. I don't remember the exact figures off the top of my head, but
So they're getting paid, but that man's getting paid.
he is getting paid. But there's also speculation, actually not even speculation, that Nathan Wade and Fannie Willis have taken extravagant vacations and cruises and whatnot together.
Well, I don't think that that's a big secret, is
That
it?
is not a secret.
Because
they're
through
also-
auditing and stuff, they pretty much found that was
They're auditing, right? But they're also
truth.
so during the audit, they're definitely not accounting for time properly. Like they billed the taxpayers of Fulton County a complete 24-hour day. No piss breaks, no lunch breaks, no anything. So they're like charging for the full 24 hours in the day, right? So
Makes
there's
sense.
definitely some shit going on.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so there's an alleged intimate relationship between Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade. So there's alleged conflict of interest or misconduct
Mhm.
when it comes to his payout versus the other two prosecutors, and just kind of this whole situation and why he would be appointed to the case instead of somebody else, and him getting paid. And so it's a big ordeal.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fucking big deal.
yeah, I mean, when you're paying him over $500,000,
Paying him over $500,000 to just be your yes man and fuck you.
but let's think about this also. So who's paying for that $500,000? Who's
The
paying for that?
taxpayers.
The taxpayers. And if they're in an intimate relationship,
That's
she's
conflict of interest.
benefiting from that.
Absolutely. It's a conflict of interest. She's benefiting for it. But not only that, she's able to manipulate and pretty much exert her own agenda over it. Because what happens if he doesn't? There goes the money.
Right.
There goes the pussy. There goes the vacation. There goes all of that.
Yeah.
Right? And you divorced your wife for fucking nothing at that point. Because I don't care what anyone says, relationships that are built on stuff like that are not going to last.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And not only that, like,
she don't
now-
love you, bro.
and now what does his wife get?
What does his wife get?
Nothing. In that sense, she doesn't get shit from that.
No, she doesn't because
So
he's making that money after the divorce.
make sure you stay on camera. Just
She's getting. Oh, sorry, I was getting comfortable and getting excited because I like talking about this shit.
so yeah. So I mean, I kind of broke this down a little bit to you, but what did you find in your research that we haven't already talked about?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. When I was researching, I was pretty much just researching the entire relationship. Now I'm unclear on a few things.
Okay.
I'm
You have to
unclear on
clear
a
'em
few
up.
things, and I would like that clarified. A divorce attorney gets appointed to a huge case. How does that happen? Like,
Just
so-
as we talked about.
but no, I understand
doing
how
the
it happens.
hibbity-dibbity.
But what I need to know is, when you're a lawyer, you specialize in certain things. You go to law school and you specialize in certain things, right?
Right.
Divorce court is one, not divorce court, but like divorce proceedings, family court, that kind of things. Usually that falls under the umbrella of protecting children, like child abuse cases, that kind of thing. It's very specialized, like familial law section. So how does a divorce attorney become a member of a case that has nothing to do with that? You know what I mean? Like, because he's probably not even properly vetted to, at that point, practice that sort of law. And in the comments, you can tell me if I'm completely wrong, but that's just the experience that I've had when researching that kind of thing. Like, if you aren't cleared to do that kind of law, then you have no space in that courtroom. A
I
divorce attorney can't come in and do a murder case.
I mean, I guess they could. I don't think there's any law against it.
No, but what I'm saying is they can't properly articulate. They might not know all the laws. Like they might not know the certain because there's different jurists.
Well,
like,
that's why they have a team of these type of people. You know, a team of lawyers prosecuting this case.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you. I mean, I think we've already kind of made it clear of why. I'm pretty sure he got the position in the first place is because of his relationship with Fannie Willis.
Fannie Lewis. Or
Yes.
Willis, excuse me.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yep. So also
Damn it.
what just recently happened in regards to the divorce between Nathan Wade and his wife, or ex-wife or soon to be ex-wife. So that divorce case was actually sealed.
What?
Yeah. So I mean, if you wanted
So
to go,
hold up. So as I understand it, aren't divorces matter of public record?
yeah.
You can look in the docket. You can do everything like that. Like if I wanted, like,
I mean, obviously, unless there's like some kind of there has to be a reason it has to be sealed.
okay. So there has to be like the judge has to hand down that decision that, hey,
Age, yeah. So it has to be discussed, and yeah, I mean, there has to be a ruling, and there has to be a clear, articulable reason why it should be sealed, and the judge has to make a ruling. And there was a ruling made, but there was obviously there was a ruling made because it was sealed, but there was I listened to the recent trial or recent hearing in regards to the unsealing of the divorce, and just recently the judge actually did make a ruling to unseal the divorce case.
okay, so interesting. So it was sealed initially when everything, like before everything came out. So it was sealed before everything came out, so no one
Yes.
could really like delve into it. But now, since the proceedings have started and they're pretty much in this, they've unsealed it. So that begs the question. So being on jury duty once, I saw as people are getting vetted, essentially, like when the jurors are getting vetted pretty much.
Voir dire.
Yeah, like you can be dismissed,
Right.
like pretty quickly at any point. Like you could be pretty quickly dismissed. Like it's just like, all right, get the fuck out of here. But I mean, over the course of that day or days or whatever, if they find a conflict of interest, they can just get you the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? So the thing is, it would stand to reason that it would stand to reason that if a judge or other attorney pretty much finds that there's a conflict of interest with the presiding lawyers in the case, it like the onus would be on them to it would basically behoove them to get them out of there, because then I mean it wouldn't be a hung jury, it would be a hung lawyer court, wouldn't it?
No, it would just.
It would be a definite.
I mean,
conflict of
it could
interest.
be a mistrial.
Mistrial. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Mistrial. I apologize. It's just very interesting because we're in a time right now where I mean, going back to I won't say Obama time, because I look at everything there with rose-colored glasses, so I haven't really begun to unearth much of that. But going to the Donald Trump era, it seemed for the first time very prevalent to me that a lot of people make things up as they go, in regard to what rules to follow, what rules can be bent, what rules can be broken, what rules just don't even fucking apply, and what rules we can make up on the fly. You know what I mean? Not saying that it was like Donald Trump's fault, but maybe people like that wanted to get him in trouble for something. You know what I mean? Just pretty much make a rule up or break a rule to
Well, they changed. Yeah,
or change the rules.
change rules to fit a crime.
Yeah. So basically at this point, we're in an unprecedented era where this type of like disregard for like even like Robert's Rules of Order, you know what I mean? Like how a meeting, how a procession should be followed. People just say fuck Robert's Rules of Order now. You know what I mean? And that was the fucking Bible for how something should be proceeded. And I see nothing with that any longer. So it's just kind of crazy, because now we're living in a time where you can just say and do whatever you want, and it doesn't really matter what the rules were, because people will do it to fit their own agenda in an unprecedented way. And so when we talk about Fani Willis, she's doing something. She wants it her way, and what better way to do that than get a man of color in there to basically follow her lead and basically adhere to her every whim. And it's disgusting in a way. I mean, it truly is, because there's a blatant disregard for the way things should be ran.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was a very long-winded way of saying that, but I wanted to articulate the thought correctly. Now we're scrolling X here.
And I want to check this out. So this is
I was just asking what you were doing here
so I just looked up Fani Willis on
X.
on X, and this is apparently, let's see how long this is. It's 2 minutes long. This is apparently a hilarious impersonation of Fani Willis.
Let's check her out.
And this lady just looks so eccentric. I gotta watch it.
I love her glasses. I want them.
My name is Fat Ass Sass and Crass No Class. Fulton County. I'm incognito today, y'all, because the white folks is after me. I got a little bit of a PR problem. Natalie, you might be able to help me with. I could use the name of your PR firm. You know, the one that got you on the top 100 list? That's the kind of PR I'm looking for.
Jesus.
You know, I know you'll understand that nothing and nobody comes between me and my Nathan's hot dog. Yeah. Come on up in here now, my dark and lovely lunch. Oh, yeah. There you come on.
You know what's fucked up, though? That's probably how she's treated.
Yes,
Jesus
Oh, my
fucking
God.
Christ.
All they tell me to do is take me to church.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah.
Nathan's hot dog.
Take me to church. I worship you, dog. You're the light of my life. Please forgive me my sins, but I would fall on a knife.
Oh,
You are my destiny, baby. Good God. Just get rid of your wife. Take me to church. I go to work. I get my freak on. Take me to church. I write a check. They let me say a few words.
Oh.
Take me to church. I eat some crow and humble pie. Take me to church. I write a contract. We're set for life.
Oh my
Take
God.
me to church. First Baptist, here I come. Take me to church.
Oh, my
Do we
God.
got to see the Catholics too? Are they on the schedule? Do I got to do everything?
Oh my.
Take me to church.
15 seconds.
Oh
How
my
the
God.
fuck aren't those people just dying?
I would have lost it. Oh my God. I'm so glad I clicked on that. That was freaking hilarious.
After the day I've had,
Oh
that made me
my
feel so much
God.
better. But here's the thing, that woman was handling that dog, bro. Like, she had a grip on that. And I wonder if that's what Fani Willis's grip looks like.
Oh my God. That was the highlight of my night right there.
So,
Oh.
in the interest of just clarification here, do you believe what Fani Willis is doing is wrong?
As far as
Basically
like
running her own show.
yeah, I mean she can't. Yes, I do. I think I you know, if she wants to prosecute Trump, do it. More power to her. She's a DA. She has the power to do it. But as far as hiring your intimate partner,
Your fuck buddy.
to be a prosecuting attorney on the case,
Yeah.
and to pay him as much as you're paying him, I mean, there's definitely, that just screams conflict of interest, screams corruption. Like, yeah, I don't agree with the way she's going about it. Like I said, if she wants to prosecute him, it would have been any other attorney, and there was no intimate relationship or of such. I just
I'm
feel,
loving her dancing.
yeah, we still got this playing in the background, and it's
gorgeous.
hilarious.
I love it.
Oh my god! But yeah, how about? I mean, what do you think?
I think that there's definitely a conflict of interest, but conflict of interests happen all day, every day, in every walk of life. And it's not just sexual partners. I mean, nepotism abounds in the world of law,
Yeah.
in the
No,
world
I
of
agree.
politics. I mean, like, so, I mean, I'm not going to necessarily sit here and say, like, what she did is it's wrong. Like, what she's doing is wrong, but I understand why she's doing it. Like, she just
For
wants
money.
to. She wants to get ahead. She wants to succeed in what she's doing. She wants the right people to back her, right? So, hey, I get that. But there's a way that you do that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? When you properly vet people, when you properly build a team, that's what building a team does. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be your fuck buddy. It doesn't have to be a person that you're paying $600,000 to where the other people are making $90K.
Let me ask you if she was because I asked myself this, if
Mhm.
she was paying him relatively the same as the other two attorneys, would it be such a big deal?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so, because at that point, the $600,000, so let's say they're making 60K, right?
Mm.
I mean, he's getting over 100% of what they're making. You know
He's
what I mean?
almost getting 10 times as much.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
he's getting 1,000% of what they're making. So I mean, like, at the end of the day, there's a clear reason that this dude's getting the money over the other two people. And if I'm the other two people on that team, I'm probably recusing myself, because why would I want to be on this team, which clearly, I mean, let's call it what it is. I mean, they're just there at that point. They're just there.
Or maybe they're the ones, pulling all the weight.
They could be the ones pulling all the weight.
And
but
he's just
but
along
what
for
I'm
the ride.
saying is, to her, they're just there. Her
No,
focus is
no,
on
no.
him.
Right, but maybe they're not just there. Maybe they're actually pulling
doing
the
the
weight.
work.
Maybe
That's probably what it is.
and then he's just
getting his cock sucked.
maybe he's just along for the ride or providing the ride for Fanny.
I like what you did there. There's been some wild things that have been happening.
Scoot over closer, Tom. You're on the edge of the screen.
I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. There's just been some wild stuff going on with women. We talked about Fannie Willis. We just talked about fucking forgot her name, the other chick. But now, or Keri Lake, excuse me.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about a woman who's been another type of victim. Elizabeth Jean Carroll.
E.
Jean, daddy. So this Elizabeth Jean Carroll is alleging that it was in the 90s, I believe.
Yeah, but she doesn't know what year.
She doesn't know what year. She's alleging that in the 90s, Donald Trump sexually assaulted her in a department store. And now this is going to trial. Donald Trump does plan to testify. Here is something interesting. A judge ruled in pretrial that Donald Trump is not allowed to testify that he didn't know her, or that this really didn't happen, because in previous trials it was established that he does know her and that something probably did happen. So Donald Trump can't come out and say that he doesn't know her, which is a very interesting thing, because what's his defense at that point?
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of
There's
issue.
a lot to unpack.
I think there's a lot of issue with this whole E. Jean Carroll situation in general. I mean, she doesn't know what year. She doesn't. I mean, there's really no substantiating evidence.
Mhm.
No substantiating testimony. Yeah, I feel like it's just he said, she said. which is unfortunate. I mean, the initial lawsuit was that he raped her.
Correct.
Um,
Sexually assaulted.
no, raped.
No, that's the charge. I thought it was sexual assault.
So initially he was being tried for raping her,
Okay.
right? Civil damages for rape, but he was found not liable or not guilty,
Not guilty.
of raping her, but he was found liable for sexual assault for grabbing her by the pussy, basically.
Yes.
But like I said, there's not a lot of. I mean, there's no evidence of it, and it's all he said, she said. He says he doesn't even know her, which, like you said, he can't even testify to that because I presume it's because there's a picture of they have a picture together. But I mean, when you're a billionaire,
You take pictures with everybody.
a lot of people are going to want to take pictures with you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like I have pictures with celebrities, and I'm sure if somebody asks that particular celebrity, they'll be like,
doesn't know
I
you.
don't know who the fuck
They don't
that
know
is.
you.
They don't know me.
No, for sure. Like, I find it very interesting that Brian Sullivan has been kind of a mouthpiece for basically giving information and what could happen on this trial to places like Newsroom and such, because god damn, I think it's very interesting because Brian Sullivan was Hunter Biden's attorney.
Conflict of interest.
Well, Brian Sullivan's just basically a mouthpiece. Basically, they're asking him what could happen, that kind of thing. And I mean, of course, Hunter Biden's fucking attorney is going to do anything he can to paint Donald Trump in a bad light.
Right.
But I mean, let's think about this. There have been 2 instances that Elizabeth Jean Carroll has sued Donald Trump. Now she can sue him a 3rd time, and it's interesting because precedence has been established. And she could get significant monetary gain this 3rd time because of that precedence.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember what the amount she's suing for is. It was a lot of money though. But
And another interesting thing, if Donald Trump does something that the judge doesn't like, the judge can issue a gag order on him.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. They've openly said that if the judge gets upset at Donald Trump, they can just hold him in contempt of court. And how is that fair? How is that a fair trial? Because listen, the allegations against him are disgusting. I will never sit here and say like a woman deserved it. I'll never say that. I'll never believe that if sexual assault happens, that nothing should happen to the abuser. Because I mean, sexual assault is just like the most unmanly thing you can do. But like, how can he defend? Like the spectrum of that is just mind blowing, because if the judge just gets annoyed with them, he can put a gag order and Donald Trump can't say anything. So how can you defend yourself? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy to think about that.
Well, I mean, not to get too far off
And
topic,
isn't
but
the statute of limitations over anyway? Because isn't the
not for criminal damages, yes. For
Okay.
For civil damages, no.
So what's the difference there?
Criminal means
Jail time.
yeah, he can get jail time. Civil means owe her some money.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So really, it's a slap on the wrist for him.
Yeah, I mean,
because he's so fucking rich.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends. Like, I'm sure these lawyers cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
On top of paying her out whatever she owes. But either way, I mean, whoever wins in this case, it's going to be appealed, and I mean, it's just going to be litigation after litigation, and that's basically what Trump is. I mean, they're trying to basically smother Trump legally. I mean, they've been trying to do that for.
But at the end, it doesn't
7
matter
years
because
now?
you can have a felony and still run for president.
Yeah, you can.
You can't. Our friend Justin told us that.
Yeah, and I wasn't aware of that.
I wasn't either until he commented on your post that one day.
And then I looked it up, and yeah, it's confirmed. I mean, basically, there's not a whole lot that can disqualify you. But one of the things I was trying to look for just now was there was some posts that E. Jean Carroll had posted on Instagram or X or Facebook or something along those lines, where she's just a raunchy person in general. She's a very... Actually, let's see if I can find this, because I thought this was pretty interesting. What's the gay dude from CNN?
There's a lot of them. Why do you think I would know the gay dude? Do I give off a gay vibe?
No, hold on.
Andy Cohen?
No.
No, that's Bravo. My bad.
Man, Google does a good job at scrubbing this shit. No.
So I just to interject while you look, I really think it's interesting that she's saying that he's slandered her when all he's doing is protecting himself. All he's saying is like, I don't, like, I'm refuting the claim. Like, it's not slander to refute a claim. You know what I mean? Like, if someone accuses me of something and I didn't fucking do it, I'm going to tell them I never met him. Don Lemon.
No, it's not Don Lemon. Oh, Anderson Cooper. Okay.
Anderson Cooper's gay?
Bro, are you...
What the fuck? Not that it matters, but...
Right here. Oh, this is CNN, so it's probably not going to paint Trump, and it's probably not going to play this whole thing. Let's see what this says. It's probably going to have add to... request failed. Let's see if we can just find it.
Jesus Christ. It's my twin brother. I think it was the very top.
No, that's Trump. That's a deposition.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Why can't... That's really odd that it just disappears.
Oh, Michael Rappaport, what do you have to say? Oh.
Oh, he's excited about Trump being found guilty for
Rappaport
something.
is such a fucking piece of shit. Do you know who he is?
Yes.
He's fucking awful. He's horrible.
Wow, you can't find like anything. Am I spelling her name wrong? Is this... Oh, here we go.
You don't feel like a victim.
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished, which the word rape carries
Let's see
so
if
many
this is it.
sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt.
But I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most
sexual.
people think of rape as being sexy.
No.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
No.
We're going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on the other side.
You're fascinating to talk to.
Rape isn't...
Oh my God.
Rape isn't even
She's
sexual
so
by nature. Rape
weird.
is violent by nature. Yeah, it's a sexual act, but it's not even really a sexual act, because a sexual act is when my wife and I have sex.
I disagree.
You know what I mean? Like, rape is an act of violence.
It doesn't. No, I disagree with that too.
Why? Why do you
Because
disagree with that?
I don't think rape requires violence.
it absolutely. It's against someone's will.
Yeah, but I don't think it requires violence. I mean, what if they just... I don't think it requires violence.
So
what
what's
if
it require?
So what if somebody is like, no, I don't want to do it, but then the guy goes through with it, and the girl is just like, she doesn't agree, but like she doesn't fight. I don't know how to put it. Like,
Well, so I see the avenue you're going down. I see the avenue you're driving down, but I'm going to cut you off at the intersection. If she doesn't want to do it, a lot of times women, especially like I've read quite a few accounts of rape victims, especially around the time when like a lot of women were coming out and saying they were raped. That Me Too movement, everything like that. And I wanted to hear these, not necessarily hear, but like read these stories, like, because I was like, there's no way all this happened to all these women. Like, there's just no way. You know what I mean? But every time there was unwilling and crying and dirty and like all these buzzwords were being used. And whenever I hear that, even that gives me a tone of aggression, anger. Like, a dude just doesn't come over and say, "Oh, you want to have sex?" and then she goes, "No," and he goes, "Okay." You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question.
He has to force himself on that person. Because if she says no, she doesn't want it. He has to force it into her, and forcing is aggressive. When I force, when I force like something into somewhere, it's hard. It's not like a gentle like push. You know what I mean?
What if she's inebriated?
It's still rape.
It's not violent.
It very well could be, though.
Could be, but I mean, I don't think rape requires violence. That's all I'm saying.
But I do see what you're saying. I'm not just crediting what you're saying. It's just like for her, obviously, she's the type of woman that found 50 Shades of Grey to be her fantasy.
She's a very raunchy person.
She is, but raunchy doesn't necessarily equate to just being down to fuck whenever. You know what I mean? Like Marilyn Monroe was a raunchy ass woman,
right?
But there are instances where I've read some, and I do not know where I read it from, but I remember reading she was fucking raped.
This is just a post of hers, right? Lust, fame, jealousy, violently making out. Another week begins tomorrow. It's just another week for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see. Let's go.
That's kind of weird, because why would you support the show that you're abuser?
Read that. Too many good TV shows on Sunday night.
And
my God, what do you watch? Right. I'm a massive Apprentice fan. This is back in 2012.
12 years after, no, 22 years after she was allegedly raped.
Roughly. Not even that, because she doesn't even know what year. Let's see. Everything interesting on Twitter is about sex.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Go over one. Nope. Left. Oh, okay.
How much porn should man be allowed to watch? Light up my life, fire my loin.
So that's from Lolita, which was a book about pedophilia. What the fuck is that?
This? Like, this is the stuff she posts. Anal sex. Are you behind it, or is it now? Is it now what it's
cracked
cracked
up? You pretty much have to be
up to?
behind it to do it. I can't think of an instance where you're in front of it, unless you've got a fucking elephant trunk for a cock.
Yeah, she just she's a very sexual being. She's yeah. I don't know how else to put that. I don't know. What are your predictions, Tom? Do you think he's going to be found? Well, I mean, he's already been found liable for.
My prediction is it's not going to be a fair trial. It's not going to be fair. No matter what anyone does, they deserve a free trial. They deserve to be able to speak their piece. People are going to lose their tempers in a courtroom. I mean, that just happens. Anytime you're accused of something, you're allowed to use your temper. And for this threat already of a gag order, I think is disgusting. And we talk about disgusting, and we talk about courts, and we talk about all sorts of this shit. Why don't we talk about Mike DeWine?
We're moving on.
Yeah, I thought.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to be crass, but I mean it's just we have so much to talk about.
We do.
And
Let's see how deep are we in here right now. We're about 55 minutes deep.
we're 55 minutes, baby.
So I mean,
We got a
let's
couple
pick.
more to go.
Want to do one or two more?
Let's do one or two more. I would really like to touch DeWine, and excuse me, I wouldn't like to touch that man.
Pause.
And I think that we keep it up in the north for a minute, but maybe we mosey down south to end the video, and we talk about Texas, not the football teams, because they fucking suck right now.
Well,
Let's
then
talk about that border at the end.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's
I'm gonna be honest with you. You told me to look this up. I was very confused on a lot of things. I'm gonna need you to quantify pretty much everything for me because I was confused.
All right, so we'll move here. Let's talk about what
So
happened.
let's talk about New Hampshire
last
before we
night.
do anything.
Yeah, let's talk about New Hampshire's election last
I'm
night.
very confused on why it was a big deal.
I mean, it's not even that it was a big deal. I mean, it was just it was their primary election. So they go and vote. New Hampshire goes and votes who they want on their primaries for each party, right? So
When does Ohio do that?
Super Tuesday, I do believe.
When is Super Tuesday?
March 5th.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's look at.
Can I do Kanye again?
You can write in whoever you want.
That's my guy.
Yeah, Super Tuesday would be March 5th.
Oh, very interesting. March 5th?
Yes, sir.
That's the day that Vultures comes out.
You know what? I'll be on a cruise that day. I won't even be able to.
Oh, shit.
I won't even be able to.
Well, March 5th is the day that Vultures comes out, Kanye's album. So it's interesting it's on Super Tuesday.
It's probably coordinated like that. So New Hampshire went yesterday, or if
Okay.
you're watching this,
I am?
2 days ago.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I was like, I am.
They went and voted for their primaries.
Okay.
Now, what's weird about? All right, so last week, Iowa had their election.
Yes.
Trump won,
Mhm.
won the primary. DeSantis, who came in second in Iowa, dropped out of the race.
Completely.
Completely dropped out of the
So
race.
he's going to be Trump's VP.
No, personally, I think it's going to be Vivek.
Vakshay or whatever his name is.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
Personally,
He'd be a good one.
well, I think I would like to see him on the ticket because he's articulate like Obama,
Obama was.
but he has conservative values.
Yes.
So I would like to see him as VP.
He's an improved version of Barack Obama.
He's a conservative version of Barack Obama.
An improved version of Barack Obama.
Yeah, we can go with that.
I
mean,
I
I
will
guess
go with that.
I guess it depends on how you look at it. But yeah, so DeSantis came in second, dropped out of the race. Nikki Haley came in third, decided to stay in the race. And then yesterday, New Hampshire had their primary race.
Correct.
Now, what's interesting about New Hampshire is they allow, if you're a registered Democrat, you can still go vote for a Republican primary.
Can
Or if
you
you're
do that anywhere?
and if you're independent, whatever the case is, right? So Trump won, but Nikki Haley, she basically made like a weird victory speech, even though she didn't win. But she claims she won't, like, she doesn't claim that she won, but she claims she made progress because she lost by like 13 points.
So she's proud of a participation award.
Right. But she thinks she's close to Trump. But here's the thing. 70% of her votes came from Democrats.
Democrats voting in the Republican primary.
Again, yeah. They're not
Okay.
voting for Nikki. They're voting against
Against
Trump.
Trump.
Yes, which is what happened in the 2020 general election
Yes.
when Biden became president.
When people voted for Kanye West, they weren't voting for Kanye West. They were voting against Donald Trump.
I would say if they voted for, I guess you go that way.
But I voted for Kanye West. I didn't vote against Donald Trump. I voted for Kanye West.
Sure.
I did. I die on that hill. I die on that hill.
But yeah, so
Easy.
Nikki Haley is still claiming to have a dog in this fight, and she still thinks she has a chance, although it's not looking so hot for her. And what's crazy is the next election is South Carolina, which is her state.
Okay.
And there are a lot of calls for her to just drop out now before she gets completely embarrassed in South Carolina.
That's crazy that in her home state they're saying like, "Hey, just drop out. Just fucking do it." Like, is New Hampshire one of those power states? Like swing states?
I wouldn't say so.
Okay. So they had their election last night. Donald Trump wins in New Hampshire. So Trump has won in New Hampshire. He's won in Iowa. Now, who won from the Democrat side?
Joe Biden.
In both states.
I don't think he was really on a ticket in Iowa, but he was a write-in for New Hampshire. He wasn't even on the. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I don't really understand their whole their elections.
Okay.
But yeah, so he made the primary in New Hampshire as a write-in.
Has that ever happened before?
I don't know. That's a good question. Let's see if we can look it up.
That's interesting. Has anyone ever died in space?
Is that the first thing that popped up?
Yeah.
Senator elected in write-in ballot.
People also ask who won the New Hampshire primary.
Donald J. Trump wins the New Hampshire primary. Republican Party race called. But is this on the first day of September 1954?
Burnett Maybank.
This is from the United States Senate. So yeah, I mean, it looks like somebody did.
That's interesting.
Write-in ballot. First day of September 1954, Senator Maybank died unexpectedly earlier that year. Maybank won his party primary nomination for a third full.
Storm Thurmond.
Yeah. First person write-in candidate. That's wild. Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. So what do we learn from the New Hampshire primary?
That Nikki Haley is a fucking pest that won't go away.
But isn't that kind of admirable?
If I keep beating you in the head and you keep walking up to me, is that admirable or are you fucking stupid?
Depends on how you look at it. You might think I'm stupid.
I would think you're stupid.
But people on the outside looking in like, damn, he keeps getting his fucking ass beat, but he keeps walking back up, man. That's a strong dude right there. He ain't quitting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying that's how it could be viewed. And
I mean, I guess.
Nikki Haley's views aren't necessarily.
Nikki Haley is a flip-flopper.
Is she, though?
Absolutely. Hold on.
Give me an instance.
I'm about to give you a few.
She's a Clemson Tiger.
Oh, here we go.
I would not run.
Ran.
I'm Nikki Haley.
Let's see. Let's make this bigger. Let everybody else see this too.
I would not run if President Trump ran.
I'm Nikki Haley, and I'm running for president. I will not now, not ever, support
raising the gas tax. Let's increase the gas tax by 10 cents over the next 3 years.
Every person on social media should be verified by their name. That's, first of all, it's a national security threat.
I never said government should go and require anyone's name.
So I think China's been a really great friend of ours. Yes, I view China as an enemy.
That was not what I intended to say. I do not think we need to pull money from the UN.
The UN, the only thing is we would defund the UN as much as possible.
I would not run if
Hold
President
up,
Trump
though.
ran.
Some of that stuff, though, man, views change.
Yeah.
Views are allowed to change. I don't think that's flip-flopping. I mean, I used to fucking think I used to think I never would ever support a conservative, and I said it vehemently. But then I educated myself a little bit more, and now I support some conservatives. That's not me flip-flopping. That's me educating myself. If I had the same views
Hold on. Let's
my
take
whole life, then I'm just a fucking putz.
So she is, or her husband, I'm pretty sure is a contractor with the military.
He's
Yeah.
he does something with vehicles.
Yeah, like military vehicles.
He's an exporter.
I mean, that sounds like a reason she would want to go to war,
Yeah,
if you ask me.
for sure. She profits from it.
Yeah, and there
She's
we
like
go.
Nicolas Cage in that movie Lord of War, profiting off of war. I'd love
It's
to
like
profit off
Fannie
of war.
Willis hiring her fanny packer to prosecute a political enemy. Yeah, no, I mean, rooted in weapons industry.
Keep going down real quick.
Yeah,
if you don't mind. Nimarata Nikki Haley. Is she not American?
She has to be if she's running for president.
So you agree that Barack Obama was American?
I mean, he would have to be if he was president.
I was just making a joke because a lot of people said that he was like Kenyan.
Well, that was a big thing back then, yeah. Let's see. This is...
Mr. Ramaswamy, for months, you campaigned as a unifier. Then you stood up at the first debate and attacked all of your competitors as bought and paid for. The second debate, you changed your tune, saying, these are good people on this stage, admitting you can come across as a bit of a know-it-all and rejecting the practice of personal insults. By debate number 3, you called Nikki Haley corrupt, accused Ron DeSantis of wearing high heels, and told Ambassador Haley she should keep a closer eye on her daughter. Can you see how this has led some to conclude you are not, in fact, a unifier, and to question your authenticity?
Megyn, I think there's a time and place for everything. We need somebody in the White House who absolutely is going to be a fighter when it counts. And I did say that there were some good people on that stage in that third debate. Doug Burgum was on that stage at that time. And I'll say that jokingly. Ron DeSantis is a good person, too. I want to go back, though, to Nikki Haley's comment from earlier that she is somehow not responding to the will of these donors. Nikki, you were bankrupt when you left the UN. After you left the UN, you became a military contractor. You actually started joining service on the board of Boeing, whose back you scratched for a very long time, and then gave foreign multinational speeches like Hillary Clinton is. And now you're a multimillionaire. That math does not add up. It adds up to the fact that you are corrupt. And when I said they were bought and paid for, I meant the Republican establishment, not the Democratic establishment. Now you have Reid Hoffman, the person who's effectively George Soros Jr., funding lawsuits across this country against Donald Trump to keep him off the ballot, funding left-wing causes. We discovered this week that he is one of Nikki Haley's largest supporters. Larry Fink, the king of the woke industrial complex, the ESG movement, the CEO of BlackRock, the most powerful company in the world, now supporting Nikki Haley. And to say that doesn't affect her is false, because it's after that meeting later that day that she says that every American needs to be doxxed by having their ID, their government-issued ID, tied to what they say on the internet. So I think that this is far more corrupt than I even imagined when I entered politics. But I will say this. It is going to take a leader from the outside with fresh legs, from the next generation to unite this country. Not the broken politicians who are puppets of the puppet masters, but the actual people in this country. Thomas Jefferson was 33 when he wrote the Declaration of Independence. I think it's going to take somebody whose best days in life are still ahead to see a country whose best days are ahead of itself. And I think I can reach that next generation better than anybody else in this race.
Thank you.
Holy shit. I'll run through a brick fucking wall for that, dude. I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm gonna tell you, dude. Like, he's right though. He's right. He's 100% right in what he's saying, because that was a beautiful example of Thomas Jefferson. I didn't know he was 33. I thought he was like 40 something. But I mean, this country really does need people in positions of power that their best days are ahead of them. You shouldn't have peaked before you became president. You know what I mean? You should be on your way to peaking when you're president. You know what I mean? And I think that's why, like, I liked Barack Obama so much, because he hadn't yet peaked. And then he did peak as president, and then what happened? He's gone away. You know what I mean?
No,
but this Vivek guy, man, like, he's right though. Like, he wants to be a unifier, right? But how can you unify when someone wants to literally take, I mean, I have nothing to hide, bro, but like, I don't want my fucking government ID attached to my Facebook profile. You know what I mean? Because what if someone gets misconstrued? You know, I ain't out there posting wild shit. You know what I mean? But like, I just don't want my shit attached to my social media profiles, or like my online presence, I guess you should say. Because there literally are two worlds now. There's the real world that we live in, but we also live in the digital world now, man. Like, most communicate. I mean, you and I get together once a week and we talk and we do this, but we're together a lot on this. You know, like, we FaceTime, we text, we send each other memes, we fucking bullshit. Like, real conversations like this, but on here. There's two worlds. I don't want this world to ever go into that one, because I prefer my two separate worlds. You know what I mean? And doxing, that's just, people get fucking killed over that shit, dude. Like, people literally get fucking killed over being doxed. Yeah. And it's dog shit. But I'm going to be very interested to see. I did not know that BlackRock is a Nikki Haley supporter. And they're literally the most powerful company in the world.
Yeah.
Like, by a very large margin.
They absolutely are.
We are closer to the Waltons that own Walmart
than the Waltons are to the BlackRock.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm about as athletic as Patrick Mahomes compared to how powerful I am to BlackRock. You know what I mean? Like, wild, dog.
Interesting. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, but you know what? Nikki Haley has got all this money behind her, so she wants to keep bringing in that money while she's still running this race, even though she's about to get embarrassed. I honestly am curious how it's going to go in South Carolina once she gets there, or once they get there for the primary. But
it's going to be interesting.
We'll keep checking that out.
Yeah. Let's finish it off tonight.
Let's finish it off, Tom. Let's talk about Texas.
Let's talk about it. So, Texas border, there's a lot going on there. So people are upset because A, they're saying Joe Biden isn't adhering to immigration laws. B, there's standoffs at the border. C, they're still making the fences, but they're not allowing anyone through certain places except to get to like a memorial and a golf course and shit like that. Like, it's a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, all right. So let's kind of back it up a little bit. So
you follow Barstool Sports?
No, I think that's just an ad.
I was going to say, I don't peg you as a Barstool
guy. So, excuse me.
You are excused.
So let's back it up a little bit. So obviously we have, an invasion going on at the southern border, and Governor Greg Abbott took it upon himself to implement the Texas National Guard to go to Eagle Pass, Texas.
Yep.
And install razor wire border, basically patrol the border because that's where a lot of immigration was happening in Eagle Pass, Texas. So he installed the Texas National Guard in Eagle Pass, a 2-mile stretch, and then the Biden administration went to the Supreme Court and said, "Hey, we think that the Border Patrol has a right to be there to do that," which you would think. I mean, to me, it's just logical that the Border Patrol would be like, "Oh, thank you guys so much for coming, to the National Guard. Thank you guys so much for coming out and helping.
Yes.
We're a little overwhelmed. We appreciate the help. Now we can focus our energy somewhere else."
Absolutely.
Right? But no, it's a fight. It's a
fight. It's a standoff.
Because why? Why though is a big question. Why is it a standoff? Because
it's two separate agendas.
Exactly.
It's two separate agendas.
And I don't want to get all into it, but there's a maybe I'll link it down below, but there's
hit the link.
Let me look it up. All right, so there you have two different agendas. Basically, you have the Biden administration that's, for the most part, just letting migrants come across the border. And then you have Texas, who is like, we're not going to deal with that. We already have enough of our own problems. Like, we deal with this shit all the time, but it's such an invasion and such an influx right now that it's overwhelming them. That's why Texas started shipping off illegal migrants to sanctuary cities such as Chicago and New York. And then they started implementing crazy things, letting them stay in schools. And now they're even talking about letting them stay in houses, in private homes, which is fucking wild. Right now, it's a request that people house these illegal immigrants. But I'm sure eventually it's going to turn into you have to, how they did with the military back in like the wars, where you have to let soldiers and military personnel stay in your home. Do you remember that? Remember learning about that in school?
I remember learning about it.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I can imagine it goes to that extent where Chicago and New York are like, no, you have to house a family. I could see it getting there. But anyways, the Supreme Court said, yeah, Border Patrol has the right to patrol the borders. Well, Governor Greg Abbott and the Texas National Guard, they're like, okay, then come remove us. So I want to show you this right here. So this is from Colin Rugg, who's on X. It says Texas is doubling down on their, let's just switch it over. Texas is doubling down on their efforts to secure the border as Governor Greg Abbott issues blistering statement to Biden claiming he has broken his constitutional duty to protect the U.S. Gotta love Texas. Right? So this is, turn it down. So this is Texas National Guard installing more border security, more razor wire, reinforcing the border to prevent illegal migrants from crossing in that area. Yeah, I don't think the audio was too great on that, but either way, you can see it. There's not much to hear, but you get the point. I mean, it is a standoff between the Border Patrol, well, actually, the Biden administration and Texas National Guard and Greg Abbott. What do you think?
I think that we're on the verge.
Say it.
I think we're on the verge of a civil war.
Man, I knew you were going to say that. I am right there with you, bro.
I really do, as much as it pains me to say it. And I don't think it's going to be as big of a civil war as the one that happened in the past.
Let me ask you, though, what do you think this civil war would be about? Obviously, the civil war...
about human rights.
You think it's going to be about human rights
or rights of people?
Give me an example.
Illegal immigrants. I think it's going to be Republicans versus Democrats. It's not going to be North versus South. It's going to be red versus blue. It's going to be, because here's the thing, and we see this all the time. No longer can people have debates like you and I have had, right? People aren't mature enough anymore to sit and talk and accept that they're wrong, or accept a different viewpoint, or maybe change their viewpoint, or maybe not even change it, but accept that there's a different viewpoint, learn from it, take something away from it maybe, and move on with your life, and maybe make it applicable to your everyday life. People are incapable of doing that now because people are so prideful, and people think that they are right 100% of the time. And it's become so divisive. Liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, right, left. You know what I mean? Like, those words now that used to be pride aren't pride anymore. It's now fighting words. You know what I mean? Like, people are losing friendships over that shit. People are losing family members over that shit. People are losing jobs. You literally, anymore, man, you can't have a political opinion if you're an employee of a company. You can just get fired now because many states are at-will states.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you made a post about Joe Biden and fuck Joe Biden, and we saw that, but also, you were putting out 100 units a month, you're putting out 98 a month now. That's just not where we need you to be, so you're out of here. It's an at-will state in most places, man. You can't get sued for that. So shit is really popping off right now, and social media is one of the biggest catalysts of shit popping off.
I agree.
Without social media, I truly believe that this divisiveness wouldn't be around. Because people can sit behind a keyboard all fucking day.
But you know what? I'm
glad though that there is divisiveness.
No, I'm not. I don't like the divisiveness, but I do. I think social media has just made it. Has brought all this shit to light.
It has.
Because before it could have been done in the dark, and it wouldn't have been shown.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the people, it could have been denied, and there would be nobody to fact check.
There's no accountability.
Right.
Accountability went through the roof when social media became more established.
I mean, it's kind of a blessing and a curse.
It is 100% blessing, curse, annoyance, grievance, fucking happiness, whatever. All are adjectives of what social media has given in the political world.
I agree.
And I like the divisiveness because rock sharpens the sword. You see what I'm saying? Rock sharpens that sword. If you are a person that is so unwilling to listen to another viewpoint and you want to fight about it, what side's going to win? I'm going to tell you the side that's going to lose.
I'll tell you
the
what.
Side that doesn't want to fucking listen to another viewpoint.
I'm not going to say what side that is.
But you don't have to, dude, because it's both sides.
It is. If you take it far, it is on both sides.
It is both sides.
Once you bring it to the middle, you get a lot more. And I believe most people live in the middle, or somewhere in the middle, maybe on one side or the other, but closer to the middle than further on the outsides. But I'll tell you what, I've been seeing this coming probably since 2015 or 2016.
How far away do you think we are? 2 years?
I think it could happen by the end of the year.
You really do?
We're in election year. That is the year that it would happen.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because
what's the straw that breaks the camel's back?
I honestly don't know.
Trump not getting elected?
No.
Or a conservative not getting elected?
No. I think let me think about this. Because I think it will come down to it's going to start with litigation first, regardless of what it is. It's going to start with the legal battle. And then it's going to I don't know, it's hard, man, because the way our democratic republic is set up, it shouldn't happen.
Absolutely.
Because the balance of powers. But you have these checks and balances that are supposed to be in place, but they sometimes they don't work like they're supposed to.
No, they don't.
Because you have, the Supreme Court can override a decision from the executive branch. The executive branch or Congress can override, can make, or I should say, the legislative branch can make loopholes to get around judicial ruling. The executive branch can elect to not enforce certain laws from the legislative branch, and but I really think it's going to happen when the people realize, I think when the people realize that they're being duped and they're being manipulated, which
is going to be soon.
There are still a lot of people who are unaware.
Yeah.
There are still a lot of people
unaware too.
Yes, blissfully unaware, which is
the worst type of unaware.
A lot of people say, I don't pay attention to politics, it doesn't affect me, but you're goddamn wrong. You are goddamn wrong.
Yeah, you're out of your mind if you think politics doesn't affect you.
It doesn't affect my everyday life. You are fucking wrong. You are so wrong. But
very wrong.
I don't know, man. I hope it doesn't happen because
I do too. But I'm prepared if it does. I'm prepared mentally, I should say. Like, all right, cool. Car business is really going to be non-existent now. Or it's probably be popping the fuck off.
It won't, because you're going to have those factories that are just going to be shut the fuck down.
That's true. But people are going to need cars when their cars get destroyed.
You know the saying?
What's saying, baby?
Hard men... Or tough men create easy times. Easy times create weak men create hard times.
Yeah.
Hard times create strong men.
Yeah. Yeah. We're living in it.
What part of that do you think we're in right now?
We're in the good times create soft men.
I think we're in the soft men create hard times.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it's gotten a little tough the past year and a half. It's gotten a little tough.
Just a matter of time till we transition onto the next phase.
I'm doing
it's all cyclic.
Transitioning.
It is all cyclic.
I will not be transitioning of any type. I'm going to be who I am. That was a jab at DeWine. Yeah. But, we're about an hour and a half in. We've covered a lot of topics tonight, and we want to thank you guys for sticking with us this evening. Next week, we'll be back. We'll be talking about some of the stuff we missed tonight, and
or whatever else pops up.
Whatever else pops up, because it's been a wild news cycle.
Crazy.
We want to thank you guys for checking us out here at The Cut. I'm Tom Roth, and again, Anthony Aquendo, my co-host here. Well, not co-hosts. We're both hosts. We're equal in this fucking thing. So,
cool.
We want you guys to like, share, comment, subscribe to the page if you like what you see. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. We'd love the subscription bell. Hit that thing. We'll see you next week, and until then, you've all made the cut. We'll see you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.